Here live from SaberCat Stadium in Houston, Texas. I'm Tim Wilkes, joined up here in the booth by Lance Kavanaugh. We've got a great bit of action here for you. Both these teams did excellent on Friday, and we'll look a little bit more into how they got here, but it should be an excellent matchup, Lance.
Yes, it should, and this is everything you asked for. Your season coming down to one final game. When you started this season, this is the moment you hoped and wished your team was at. Now that you're here, it's time to capitalize on an amazing opportunity.
Again, two incredible matches back on Friday. As we take a look here at Vermont, the Catamounts, a 22-11 win over UNC Wilmington. They had a great match, just 1 of 4 on the kicks, but had a great team effort. Everyone that scored in this match hadn't scored in the previous 2, so a great team effort. But Lance, these guys were strong. They were taken to the limits by UNC Wilmington.
Yeah, UNC got out to a pretty good start, and Vermont found their rhythm. And once they did, it was an absolute running show. This last try just showed amazingly what they can do, what hustle can do, and everyone is a part of this Vermont win. They know they got a big day ahead of them.
Been an excellent season, 10-0 on the year, Lance.
Yeah, and look at the point differential. 60 points per game. Every game is a clip that is very hard to eclipse, especially when you get into these championship moments. But they shown throughout the season they were one of the top teams in the nation, especially heading into the playoffs. And if you look at who they played, Wilmington, UNC Wilmington, the 22-11 we spoke on, but a win against Cornell, Villanova, UMass Laurel. They've done so much work and put up so much points against respectable teams. This seems like they're on a date with destiny.
Just a couple of changes. We have William O'Shea, number 1. He steps in there for Carroll. Keep an eye out on Harry Missing. He had a try yesterday. John Warabell, number 4. He is the MLR draftee for the Free Jacks. Take a look at the back end. Keep an eye out for Tom Burnett. He had a try yesterday along with Zan Rice with 2 tries. And it should be an outstanding match here with the back line, usually pounding ahead. But we'll see what kind of strategies they've got here as we take a look at the other side. University of Chicago, excellent win yesterday on Friday over Grand Valley State, 42-26, 8 tries up on the board, Lance.
Yeah, and when their forwards got to rolling, they became almost unstoppable. Picking their moments, scoring so many tries off of line-out setups. This is something that their opposition need to worry about because they have a strong lineup presence and structurally have figured out a way to work so cohesive together throughout the course of this game. I mean, some of these tries, long runs, a great injection of forwards and backs mixing it together. And when they needed points the most, they showed up for themselves. Chicago is a very strong side heading into this Sunday championship.
An excellent season for these boys as well out of the Great Midwest Conference. Let's take a deeper dive into their schedule.
9 matches, no losses. The closest they got was a draw, but 347 points over the course of those 9 games. Again, just showing that they can put points on the board. 191 point differential says so much about the way that they can play a complete 80 minutes. Winning yesterday's matchup against Grand Valley State 42-26, beating Colorado Mercer, beating Northwestern, beating DePaul, and the wins against Northwestern and DePaul mean a little bit more of those Chicago rivals, taking care of Grand Valley, which is a Midwest rival, and now only one team in the way.
Again, the number 6 team in the country, bit of an underdog status, but they took out 15 Grand Valley State. Let's take a closer look here. A couple of, actually 4 changes away from Friday. The biggest one, number 2, Matteo Rampoldi. He comes in from that number 7 spot. Alzugare had 2 tries. He was the hooker, so a bit of a change there. Reed Smith, the other new target, their number 7. In the back line, keep an eye out for Will Johnson, who had a try yesterday. Tamir Tunkman, number 11 there. He steps in to this match, the only change in the back line. And Caius Michlich had 2 tries there from that number 13 spot, looking to capitalize more on that one today. Again, 2 great squads, coached by Michael DeWall there for the Chicago Maroons, out in the red shorts, white jerseys. and the black and green for the Vermont Catamounts. We are just about ready for the D2 National Championship here live from Houston, Texas. Welcome you in, referees and everybody on the pitch. Again, an excellent weekend. We've already dwindled this thing down, started with 12 teams, already 3 national champions. We got St. Bonaventure D1, Tennessee D1 AA, and Franciscan for D3. We'll step aside here for the national anthem.
Today's national championship match. We ask for a moment of silence to acknowledge the recent tragedy that has occurred at Brown University. We join together to honor those affected and to show our profound sympathy and support for the Brown community during this difficult time. Please join us for a 1-minute moment of silence. Thank you very much. Now, let's get ready to rock it. Let's go.
And with that, we are just about ready to rock and roll here in the D2 National Championship match. Number 1 Vermont, number 6 Chicago, and we'll send it on down to the sidelines for Tyler Deutsch.
Everybody, it is the moment we've been waiting for. It's the final match of this championship weekend with University of Chicago versus the Vermont Catamounts. University of Chicago had taken down Grand Valley State in an impressive underdog showing to get to the final. It is the Cinderella story for them. And Vermont took down UNC Wilmington in what might have been the most physical match of this entire tournament. So expect lockdown defense versus high-octane offense, and I cannot wait to see what the final result will be for the Division II series. Guys, what do you say we get it going?
We are ready just like you there, Tyler. Fantastic stuff on the sideline. You'll notice if you're watching here from wherever you are, a little bit of a difference in the change of weather. 80 degrees, beautiful sunny Texas skies yesterday. We're down near 50 degrees, 15-mile-an-hour winds. And And it is cold and bristly out there. Mike Rudzinski, our referee out of the New England area. Robert Fanning, Elena Gregory, and Chris Micheletti, our TMO for today. Second year to have the TMO. We take a quick look over there at the Vermont sideline. The stoic Joey Bessel has his squad amped and ready to go. Again, I'm Tim Wilkes, joined up in the booth by great American rugby himself, Mr. Lance Kavanaugh. And Lance, it should be an excellent showing here. Usually Vermont so dominant with that forward pack, they had to win a different way yesterday.
Yeah, and they're playing against another side that wins through the forward pack. It's always, when championship games, it's about who settles in best and who makes the least amount of mistakes throughout the course of an 80-minute game. This is going to be an absolute slugfest.
A couple of the critical things from the last matches on Friday. Both these teams, the more disciplined squads, having less penalties than the other two. Exactly what you would expect. The one thing that we really need to keep an eye on, though, for Vermont is this kick goes into touch from Matthew Tebnan. Big thing for Vermont, only 1 of 4 this past week on Friday from the kicks. We'll see if they can get things back on the right track through that man who just had that one, Matthew Tebnan.
Yeah, absolutely. And even now, that kick going right into touch on the full, brought back into the 22, puts this Vermont side at a disadvantage. And Chicago can establish that maul that got them so many points in their semifinal matchup.
Again, the main man in the engine room there on Friday was Jose Alzugare, but he is not in this match. This one's stolen away. There's the kick up over, but again, wind changing directions this time, blowing right to left as you view this match. The boys from Chicago look to charge here, out of there from Baldwin. Looking for some space, big time skip pass over the top. Finds its target out there. A lot of stuff is gonna go through Jack Allison, big number 8 right there. Had a tremendous match, again with 2 tries, but had a couple of assists. He is great in the open field. There's another burst through from Reed Smith. Newly into the national championships. Keep it in tight. Great double tackle from Vermont. Seamus Rode got involved in that one. Almost ripped it out of there, but it's the Maroons able to pull it apart. And now they've got some space here on the near side. Little 4v2 on there, but it just goes out into touch and a quick opportunity to the wayside, Lance.
Yeah, and that bit of possession, it has so many positives for both sides. Chicago realizing they do have an opportunity to score, but Vermont defense so stingy, almost won the ball back. It's one of those confident check moments for both teams early in this championship.
Great take off the top. They were 14 of 16 in lineouts on Friday. 1 for 1 here to start in the national championship. Strong pounding run. That's Tiernan Dunn. Those gold locks. Kick here, kind of in front of the kicker. Almost kind of got in the way of that one hitting the back, but this one will go out into touch. But already, Lance, we see that wind really starting to play a factor in this one.
Yeah, Vermont, multiple opportunities to clear their line and gain some territory. But with the pressure of the Chicago defensive line and the wind, you're forcing these kicks to be pushed faster than normal without being comfortable, and the wind just taking a hold of them. They haven't been able to clear their lines with 2 kicking opportunities.
Matteo Rampoldi puts this one in nice, scooped up there by the boys in white. They're able to retain possession. Lost a good 30 meters, though, after they were so close to scoring their first try of the match. Had the 4v2 on the outside. We'll go weak again, but this time off the hands, straight to deck, and we're playing advantage here for the Catamounts. Inside ball goes awry, scooped up by John Warabell. 6'3" senior, again Free Jacks draftee, 2-time All-American. This one off the hands. So that's kind of twice, Lance, we've seen Vermont a little discombobulated with their lines.
Yeah, and it just seems to be a bit of timing. And maybe this is early game jitters. I mean, this is the most important game of your season. Just wanted to flash and show it was possible for him to get the ball. but unfortunately really got his hands on it. And they had that advantage from earlier that works out for him, but they gotta get those moments and iron them out, get them straightened out so that they can play their best ball. This is the moment to do so.
2 games in 3 days. I know you've experienced that before, Lance. What does it feel like these first 10 minutes as you're trying to get back into the groove?
Well, it's nerve-wracking. I mean, if this is what you want it to be, how important it was for you, something you marked from the beginning of the season, it just takes a second to settle in and really get a hold of the moment.
Justin Casper, big number 12, had a strong run there, but they went backwards and lost it forwards, lost a good 10 meters and coughed it up as well. So Chicago still applying intense pressure, and they'll have a scrum here when we come back.
Yeah, and look at the line speed of Chicago. They're bringing forth absolute pressure, meeting players 10 meters past their own gain line, and it's really causing confusion for Vermont.
And not only did they have the matches on Friday, but both these squads had to desperately try to find ways to get their final exams. Those were happening Thursday and Friday this week, so it's been a crazy week, but it could be a magical one here on Sunday. Smashing run here from Jonas Grusnius, still carrying defenders with him. Grusnius, the senior economics major out of Estonia. They'll move it here to the near side. That's Jack Allison again with 2 tries on Friday. They'll spin it back. Good ball retention. This is what we saw from Chicago. Grand Valley had a real tough time ripping it away from them. Vermont's looking for it each and every time. That one, it was Burnett who got thrown to the wayside. Allison again, not having as much of the line breaking ability here so far, and they're just going to have to eat this one. Fasihi, the scrummy there, has to come back for it. Now 6 meters out. Good job having plenty of numbers around each and every carry. 7 minutes into this match, there's the shove. Ball is still good. Good work there from Dunn. And another big tackle. Holds firm. Catamounts giving everything they've got here in their own defensive line. Still driving them back. There's the pop pass to the outside. But again, not a lot of movement all the way to the wings. Really keeping it in tight here. There's the pass. Did go backwards, says Rosinski. So the Maroons still in possession, looking for the first points of the match. There's the spin all the way to the outside. Looping runners couldn't hang on to it. Come right back in. 12 meters away. Sustained pressure as we start this match for the Maroons. Orego gets hit, but driven backwards a good 3 meters. Catamounts ready time and time again. Double tackles, there's the chip up over the top. Collected. Grusnius. Great work up in the air, but it's ripped out of there. Luca Race. Past the 22-meter line into a couple of white jerseys. And now Vermont had a quick phase earlier off the knock-on, looking to put a little bit more into it, but again lands. One phase in, another knock-on. Neither of these teams looking to take that, or can take that stranglehold so far.
Yeah, and it looks like he knocked it on, trying to place it as quick as possible. Chicago going for the kick after pretty much being shut out for so many phases, and it just presented for Luca Race to get the ball and get on his race. Grabbed by multiple Chicago players, and this is the momentum that Vermont needed. In this tackle right here, you see him try to place the ball down early, get a clean presentation, but soon as he hit the ground, elbow and the point of the ball hits the ground, and he just can't cleanly present it. Unfortunately, Chicago back with the ball in almost the same position they found themselves in earlier in this first half.
Every bit of possession here has been in Vermont's half of the pitch, mostly inside the 22. Have a quick break in the action here. A sub coming on. I believe that was Ashton Chung, number 5 for Chicago, that's going to be stepping off as they hang on to him there. Possibly head injury there, Lance.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, especially in a championship game. You want to be out here with your guys, but this is also a team moment. Someone else has to step up and there can't be a drop-off in ability. You need 100% from everybody this game.
If there's one thing a bit lacking for Chicago, it was on those conversions on Friday. Only 1 of 8 for Grusnius. Will need to be better here. Cannot allow those 16 points to fall by the wayside here in the national championship match. Put in coming. Michael Fasihi, the statistics major out of Bethesda, Maryland. Snags it out of there and gets things moving here to the near side. Grusnius into contact. Did not release, though, on the tackle, and so they will get sent back 10. That was Luca Race trying to go for another poach.
Yeah, he almost had his second one there. Unfortunately, just didn't give a clean release to indicate as a tackle or assist that he was away from the ball. And they give Chicago a penalty in a situation that they're very comfortable in, a line out inside of 10 meters. This is where they found a lot of points Friday.
See there, Luca Race and that multicolored magical mullet. Trying to find something out of nothing there inside the scrum. Vermont knocked it on in the line out. Unfortunate stuff there, so they are still under pressure 10 minutes into this match. All of it inside the Catamounts half the pitch.
Yeah, just so much time here. And I mean, through the hands and off of the knees twice. Just couldn't gather it in. And like we've been seeing, Vermont has found themselves on their back end because of their inability to retain the ball. And when they do get possession, they have to kick it away for territory. They just got to find a way to hold on to it just a bit longer.
Only giving up 11 points on Friday. There's the shove from the Catamounts. Now they'll look for some space there through the center, out to the outside. Nice little cut back in. Here comes Nico Roth. They'll spin it back outside, looking for a little bit more space, and they found it. A try given. Chicago Maroons on the board first.
An exceptional bit of play from Chicago, getting all the way around the edge. Players had to loop, players had to resource themselves to get to that outside edge, and just holding the whiff was necessary. This play right here, holding multiple defenders, the slow down, and with looping players, the offload gets away and able to reposition himself at his hips to get back onside and get to try on the edge. No number on this shirt, but just working hard as a group to get around. You can see how eager they were to get to and around the ball to get that try.
I think that was Augustine Buteller, the fullback, getting into the action there. But we will double check just to make sure. It doesn't get much more difficult of a kick than this, though. Lands all the way from the sideline. Just off the mark, no good. So 0 for 1 already, but Chicago on the board first with that first try and just sustained pressure there in the first 12 minutes, Lance.
Yeah, and it turns out to be points and well-deserved. Vermont has got to find a way to play on this half of the field because this seems like the first time we've been over here.
You see the kick there as deep as possible. There to Grusnius, and now they'll return the kick, looking for some space in the back. Beautiful catch there from Zan Rice on the far wing. Multiple jerseys there ready to get possession. Looked like they were possibly hands on the deck there as they went for the poach, but it's the Catamounts able to come away with it and have their first bit of phases here on the opposite territory. Strong run there from Morabel. Just have to eat this one into contact. Dunn and Legier couldn't find a crack there. Their 6-7 combination doesn't come to fruition, and it's ripped out of there. Little bit of a box kick up over the top by Fasihi. Found some good space, and now they're able to put pressure on Colin Green just outside of the 22. This is where we've spent most of the match, just a couple of quick chip kicks, and the Maroons are able to push them all the way back. Morabel. Excuse me, that was Legier, couldn't find any space, still inside the 22. And now they'll give it a boot to look to find a bit of a clearance. But again, pinned inside 30 meters here for Chicago, another line out.
Yeah, and they're getting so comfortable on this end of the field. It's becoming an issue, and you can read the body language. It doesn't like either team is out of the fight, but you can just see the frustration some of these Vermont players being with their back on their own try line for so long.
So back on Friday, if you remember correctly, it was Chicago that played well with the win. Those kicks were working then, pinning them back, and they have employed that same strategy here today. Lose the line out, though. On Friday, they were 11 of 11 on line outs and stole 4 of 6. But this time, it's Vermont who is too tough there, going up high to get it. Here on the near side, after the kick, Zan Rice finds some space, swims by 1. Over the midfield stripe, he'll stab this one through. The chase is on. Will Johnson comes back, but eventually they're able to secure possession just a meter out. Not releasing the call. The great pressure there from the Catamounts causes the turnover. Warabell dishes it off. Harry missing with the try. His second of the weekend, and Vermont tie it back up at 5.
He has been missing his entire life, but in the national championship game, he showed up big. After multiple kicks by this Vermont side, the first one getting caught up in the wind, which looked like a territory tactical kick, caught up in the wind, regathered by Vermont. A show and go move by Zan Rice, and with that kick, they were off to the race. Multiple players from both teams there, but Zan able to get his hands on the ball, confirmed to the referee that he is not releasing. Good effort by Chicago Will Johnson to get there. And once the ball was given to John Warabell, he made a quick pass to Harry missing, and the missing man is here and arrived and has been identified as the first try scorer for Vermont in this championship match.
Missing the 6 foot, 210 pound senior out of Leesburg, Virginia. Puts the Catamounts on the board first, and the kick was good. Gives them their first lead of the match here in the D2 National Championship. So it was the kicks from Chicago that had been pushing the Catamounts back time and time again. But that time, a beautiful one from Zan Rice set them up for the try. Up by 2, still inside their own 22. Harrison Lloyd, the junior, takes it into contact. 8 seniors on this Vermont squad. The experience coming to play here in the national championship. Big time collision. Sebastian Villamil got run over that time. Big time lumbering run from Legier, 6'2", 220 pounds. Good no pass that time. We're going to come back, so we've got a high tackle on the previous phase.
Yeah, and that big collision just didn't have the proper body height. Got bowled over a little bit and hit with a penalty. That high tackle call, easy for the referee to make. And Vermont being a team of mullets, exceptional hair on this Vermont team as they compete for this national championship.
Mullets and the bleached hair abound here as we see that collision again, Lance.
Yeah, and right in your home, right in your living room, such a big contact. And for that to be a penalty on the defense, it just adds insult to injury.
So that one not straight, but referee Rudzinski says no contest. Chicago did not lift. They didn't compete for it, so it doesn't matter. We'll play on here. Out the back comes McGovern. Beautiful skip pass up the top by Tevnin. Finds some space on the outside. Colin Green with the dish. Chips this one back over the top. Scooped up there by Luca Rice, but just had that one. Couldn't secure possession. And we're going to play on, says the referee. Quick take. Therefore, Chicago, they give it the boot, but here comes the return. Counterattack from Tom Burnett. He goes straight into contact. Will Johnson, more than happy to accept that. Slings him to deck, and now the Catamounts charge again. Legier. Back to midfield. Tiernan Dunn makes a couple. This is where we've seen success on the outside. But Dunn gets taken down. That was a wrestler there, the big number 8 with it. Harrison Lloyd into contact. This is more sustained pressure than we've seen from the Catamounts than throughout the previous 18 minutes of this match. Phase number 5 here on the near side, and there's the break they were looking for. Harry Missing again, showing up on the national stage. Released it, popped back to his feet, and keeps the charge moving. Another 20 meters from Harry Missing. The green jerseys are there to secure possession. Plenty of numbers on the outside. Through the hands they go. Casper out there to Burnett. There's the opening they're looking for. Colin Green brings it home. Try number 2 for the Catamounts.
And look at the energy from the sideline. Everyone is in tune with an opportunity to take a national championship. Harry Missing has shown up so big in the beginning of this match, able to control the ball, break multiple tackles, squeeze it through 2, fending off another, gets tripped up, rolls over, back on his feet, removes another defender. I mean, what more can you ask for from a prop, getting the job done and moving the ball down the field? And it just caused so much confusion. Offsides across the board for Chicago, and Vermont just needed to convert a 3-on-2, and they do just that, able to dive in. Colin Green, he saw Green, and Green is now adding points to the board.
Tremendous effort there. Again from Harry Missing to be able to break. I counted 7 broken tackles there, Lance. A good 50 meters in the book, 7 broken tackles. And then you see the skill in this Joey Bessel coach squad to be able to sling it to the outside. And as you mentioned, plenty of space there for the freshman. Colin Green, the biology major out of Belmont, Massachusetts. Tremendous work. Just looking for some opportunity here as, again, 2 unanswered tries just after Chicago started to dominate this one in the first 12 minutes, Lance.
Yeah, they really had control of this match, but Vermont just showing they have the ability to score, and it doesn't take much. Missing is accounted for, and Missing is accounted for a lot of their forward attack and what they've been able to make here. The seniors showing up so big early in this match.
Sometimes that wind at your back can work against you, and this one trickles all the way into touch in goal. So we'll bring it back to the scrum center, where Seamus Road, the hooker, will set things up here for Vermont. And we thank you for joining us live from Houston, Texas, SaberCats Stadium. Beautiful 4,000 seat stadium, premium grass turf. Never been down here, one of the finer complexes in the country. One of the only ones dedicated fully to rugby. Plenty of tournaments out here. We've seen Rugby Texas and the high school stuff do a lot as well as the Lone Star Conference, but this one out into touch, out in the field of play on the full, so we'll come back to where it was kicked. Quick mistake there from the Catamounts.
Yeah, just unable to really counteract this win. There's just so much going on with the elements affecting this match. And they've had such strong carry ball in hand. Let's see if they continue to run it out the back instead of kicking it for minimal space.
Knocked forward there by the Maroons. And again, we mentioned it back on Friday. We were sitting 75 degrees and sunny, maybe a little bit of rain in the afternoon match. But it was a very humid and hot day, a big time difference here. 50 degrees, 75% humidity, so that 20-mile-an-hour wind is doing its damage here in the national championship, final one of the weekend. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you are here live on NCR.TV for this next level rugby production. In and out comes James McGovern, the freshman running the show. Here to the near side. And this back line has been tremendous so far. Luca Race is able to scoop this one up. Off 1, off 2. Now the offload keeps things moving through Colin Green, already with 1 try. Over the 22.
I need you on sides.
They secure possession. You see the Maroons trying to retreat. There's numbers on the outside.
No hands, no hands.
Lagier Takes this one into contact smartly. Maroons have been able to flow over to that right-hand side. All sorts of hands coming in there in the ruck, and it gets knocked on again. 16 minutes left here in the first half. A little bit of sloppy play there, but this is exactly what we were expecting in the national championship, Lance.
Yeah, both teams are really moving forward. Vermont has really found a way to attack with ball in hand. The decisions now to kick it should be minimal. I don't expect them to continue to try to kick for territory and space in this half, as long as the wind is against them, because every time they go to the wing or move the ball around, they found success. Ball carriers are absolutely demolishing the defensive line of the Maroons, and Chicago has found a way to stay in this match, even though their tackling hasn't been up to the par that it has been throughout the year for them.
Put in for Fasihi. There's the shove from Vermont. Both these teams are excellent in the scrums in their previous match, not losing any against the head. There's the charge down, and it's scooped up on the outside again by Roman Legier.
Hold on the line, guys, good.
So now some sustained pressure for Vermont. Already 2 tries in a row in the last 10 minutes. It's ripped out of there, but illegally so, says Rudzinski, and they'll get sent back 10.
Back here. 7, I just need bodies out first, okay? I have 2 guys, I need to roll quicker. Right here. 10. The march over there, okay? Yeah. 7, you're fine if the bodies are out.
Do you go to a kicker lineup with this win? Probably not. Quick tap is a great decision.
Rumbling forward.
Fine, guys, it's fine.
That time, William O'Shea. Again, did not play in the last match, making his presence felt here. Here's some space on the near side. Justin Casper
First on the ball, guys.
gets hit,
First on the ball.
and it's the white jerseys on the ball first, and they earn a not releasing penalty for Chicago.
Yeah, great defense by Chicago. First carry was devastating, like we've seen Vermont really bringing the action when it comes to ball carrying. But once it gets to space, which has been very successful for them, it can get dangerous with players being isolated, pulled to the ground. That's 12-on-12 action right there. At Chicago, Jonas Gutsen are able to bring the ball carrier down and get the steal.
Not too often your starting number 12s, both 6'4", 230 pounds. Some mammoth men there at the center of the pitch. They'll find some space now, looking to regroup. 25 meters out. Back off to the left again, Legier.
All right, that's fine now. Hold it.
Stronger tackle, though, from Chicago. A little over 13 minutes left. Chicago coming out really hard. We saw Vermont with these heavy runs. The pop passes started to come out to play here near halftime. They're looking for him, but Chicago's done so good on defense, coming up and meeting them before they get a chance. Back to the left. Seamus Rode there from the pass from McGovern. Rode splits the defense. 1, 2 tackles, finally brought down in the back. But now Vermont on the front foot again. Here to the outside. Casper keeps things moving. Gets it to Burnett, who gets over the line and in for the try. No need for the confirmation. 3 in a row for Vermont.
And that, again, is just well worked. When they decide to ball carry, be aggressive in the middle of the field, the space seems to open up on the wings. 2 tries on the outside of that 5-meter channel just shows that how much work is being done. Big collision, but not held. Neither one able to keep the ball carrier down. And now that's 4 or 5 defenders all being brought to the ball carrier. And once Vermont has that overload on the outside, they've learned to maximize it. Soft hands by John Wearable, and able to get over the try line is Tom Burnett. And it's just perfect energy. Everyone's accommodating, taking out defenders, and able to break that tackle by himself. And the charge into the try line just shows Vermont's ability to carry the ball strongly.
So 2 of the 3 tries for Vermont from freshman Tom Burnett, 5'11", 185, out of England, a geography major, putting his team on the map here in the national championship as the Vermont Catamounts look to win their first national championship in school history. Over 10 10 minutes left to go. Joey Bessel has seen his squad just come out banging here. 17 unanswered points. And again, if you're just joining us, it was Chicago in full control the first 10 minutes. Multiple opportunities for tries, only came away with the 1-5. And now it's Vermont again. Race, tremendous stuff there. Out of that bleached mullet, over to the left-hand side, they keep things moving.
They're not. Timing's good.
Chicago did a great job coming up and causing havoc with it. Vermont very sure-handed. First couple minutes, they had some knock-ons, but since then, they've been tremendous.
He didn't hit you. Don't do that again. I'll send you.
Mikey Radzinski getting into it with the players, laying down the law, keeping things safe out there for both squads.
Let's get a check on that, Chris.
And the high tackle, he was right there, Johnny on the spot to get that one. Here to the near side, they've got the advantage. Ooh, into contact. This one jarred loose as the try scorer, Colin Green, couldn't hang on to it. We'll come all the way back here, though, for the penalty.
Yeah, they're going to check on that upstairs.
I have foul play. I have a high tackle. I have what I think is indirect head contact. And I have about low to medium force. That's where I'm at right now. I'd like to hear where you're at.
And on your replay screen on the left, you see this contact right here that's about to happen. Boom. Just improper body height going into that
Guys,
tackle.
Just back up.
And they're looking for head contact, and it might have been there. I mean, there's strong sense that this could be a yellow. And, you know, this is a different tackle situation.
Yeah, even one of the previous ones before that looked like it could have been high as well. It seemed like Radzinski was talking about some multiple ones. That one there would have been on Will Hendricks. The previous tackle they were looking at, Will Johnson, was the one who tries to get low, but takes a little bit there.
Okay. Yes.
Excuse me, that was Riley Vijar trying to make that tackle.
So what I'm hearing is first contact is okay. Second contact looks to be direct head contact. We're going to determine the level of force on number 4. Correct.
Yeah, so from what I'm seeing here, Lance, probably not enough maybe for a yellow. What are you thinking?
Yeah. Borderline yellow. Definitely penalty at minimum, but borderline yellow. I think if tackle height has been an issue throughout the game, it can be something that they go to cards for, but I don't know if they'll give one for this. It looks like it's
I'm good.
It applies though.
All right, captains, just come here. So I'm hearing, Chris, just to reiterate, I'm hearing low force. It is contact to the head, so we just had a penalty. Okay, Chris? All right, thank you. All right, guys, so it was head contact, but it was low degree of force, okay? So we're just going to stick with a penalty right here. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't get direct or high force. Understood. All right, guys, we're going to start here with a penalty on my whistle, okay? All right, respect them. Thank you, guys. Guys, I need the tackle height to change. Otherwise, we're going to have to make different decisions. All right,
yeah, and we saw there for Vermont, Warabell just kind of pleading with them. They were all over the place there with those high tackles. They looked at multiple of them there, and they're able to find a bit of an exit strategy here. Best way that they found throughout this match so far is using that back line as they have been breaking free time and time again, Lance.
Guys, it's right there, okay?
They have, and I mean, I'm looking more towards the future. What happens when the field switches and Vermont has the strength of the win? Chicago hasn't really found a way to maximize the effects of nature today, and it's really working against it with Vermont having this lead.
Another strong run. This time it's the hooker, Seamus Road, out of Cumberland, Maine. Brings it forward. And now a big-time run from Warabell. A couple in a row there for him. And they'll reload. Keep it in with the locks. Harrison Lloyd, junior out of Connecticut. And now back to the Bleach boys. Tiernan Dunn. 9 minutes left to go. Just about to say the ball retention has been tremendous, but they have lost it. Chicago got their hands on it.
And you can see a little bit of the attitudes are flaring up in this championship game.
All right, time's off, guys.
And part of it is how much it means to these players.
Just come here.
How much it means.
Hey, Mateo, just come here. Just up white. All right, I'm getting too many voices. Next person that barks at me, I'll back them 10. Have a word right now. I'll stay for any more of it, okay? Go.
And when a referee says that on a championship stage, he means absolute business. Just too much conversation from other players who aren't captains. And just to find peace throughout this match and be able to facilitate it the way he needs to, he needs a little bit of quiet from those players. Gives his last warning. And let's see how that carries on to the match, because tempers are up a little bit. Both teams are really locked into this highly contested match, and it's still early. So much can happen.
Hold that mark for me.
But if you're Chicago, as you mentioned, you'll have the wind at your face here in the second half. Can't go in down 2 scores. Opportunity to get back into this one right here, right now. It was number 7, Reed Smith, that got his hands and earned his squad the penalty.
Guys,
Shout out there for the defensive work, paying on the
and wait, you're going to
offensive
come in a
end.
little bit. You're going to come in a little bit. Right here, okay? Does that make sense? Stay there.
Rampoldi with the throw. Gets it in, but it's stolen away. Second time Vermont have been able to take it out of the air on the Chicago line out. That could be huge, as it really looked like Chicago was going to be able to mount an attack again. They scored multiple tries, at least 2 or 3 on Friday out of that driving maul. They have not been able to really get that to effect because the boys in green keep stealing it away. Here to the near side, Casper gets driven. Heavy tackle from the Maroons. That's their captain, big number 8, Jack Allison. A little bit of hands in there, but they're able to come away with it, are the Catamounts. Tackled behind the gain line. Big hit from Orrego.
Inside.
Now they'll look to kick this one away. Sustained pressure again. But Lance, if they can't get the lineouts back and working, it's going to be difficult to be able to drive down the way they want.
Yeah, and that was such a point of release for them during their match against Grand Valley. They were able to establish so much points and so much go for it off what their mauls did, what their forward pack were able to control. But Vermont has found a way to nullify it. And I mean, with this win, Vermont is going to have to play the backs to their try zone so much.
Play on.
We saw that on Friday. There's that deep fire pass. As soon as it hits past that 15 meters, backline can come move up and take it. Jack Allison with it, center of the pitch. Sun peers out here in the Lone Star State. Still again 50 degrees, big 30-degree difference from yesterday in this fickle Texas weather. Good offload inside. Vermont can't quite get to it, and it's ripped out of there again by Fasihi.
No. Loss.
Chicago doing just enough on these rucks to secure possession, but this time the errant pass from Reed Smith has them retreating. Lost 20 meters in that phase. We're about 5 minutes away from the halftime break.
Release.
Strong work again. They're going to get the penalty for this one. A little bit too much aggression coming in from Roman Legier.
I told you no. 7, I told you no. Right over here.
Yeah, and Chicago giving a bit of a bailout again. That Vermont defense is pushing them back further and further. With each ruck, they seem to find themselves moving further away from their goal. And the ruck is formed here. Player on the ground, so that's not it. It's the next hit up.
That's why I'm trying to be verbal.
And there's a tackle there. And he never really had the ball clean and took a second stab at it. Maybe to slow the ball down would have been fine. Referee asked for release, didn't get it. And Chicago find themselves with another opportunity to lean to their forwards on this rolling maul.
And 3 in a row inside the 22, and Chicago cannot secure their own line out. There's the break. Catamounts on the front foot. Harrison Lloyd takes it up to the 10-meter line. That one was out. Great work from Will Johnson, the number 10, for Chicago to come up and cause havoc with it. But it's the boys in green still in possession. Seamus Road slinging defenders to deck. Still on his feet. 40 meters in the bag here for Seamus. Now they've got numbers, thinking about the outside. Couldn't hit the first runner. Second one opens up and they're able to bust through the game line. Back out Legier. He's been tremendous. A little stranded that time, but a big time counter ruck sends him off, done with the huge hit. William O'Shea takes us in 3 minutes away from halftime. There's the beautiful kick picked up by Luca Race. Race steps over the last defender and breezes in for the try. 22 unanswered points for Vermont.
And so much during that build-up play for Vermont they can be proud of. The referee allowing play to continue after a little bit of discrepancy at the ruck. Great officiating, because that bit of continued play allowed for this grubber to go to. And when Race gets his hand on the ball, it is time for a foot race. Luca scoring big in Texas like another Luca. And the Maverick himself putting in points. Vermont has so much to look forward to when it comes to that build-up of play and that try, if it sticks. Ooh, there might be bad contact on the kicker.
Called it just after the kick there. See, they're able to come up. Bit of a collision, not quite sure if head contact was made. That's the same person, Will Hendricks, who they were looking at for the penalty on the high tackle earlier. Ooh, yeah.
And there was definite head contact, and this could lead to not just a yellow, but maybe even a red. The ball was clearly away. He was already close to the other one, which was low level of impact.
We do have foul play. We have head contact, direct. We have a high degree of danger.
That's a
And
red.
I have no mitigating factors. I'm at a red card.
That's a red card.
Yes, please. Thank you.
No mitigation, high degree of danger. He went through the checklist perfectly and beautifully. To get to the decision was clean and clear. If this is a red
Sorry,
card,
say the
I
number
stand
one more time.
behind it.
Number 4. Okay.
Not to mention, he already had the high tackle earlier, did not learn his lesson.
Captain, number 4.
The try's going to be scored, but Will Hendricks, the 6'3" senior lock
Okay,
out
guys.
of Winifred,
So-
Montana,
wait, come here.
might get shown the card here. Unfortunate
So we have
stuff
foul
in the
play.
national championship.
Direct head contact with a high degree of force and no mitigating factors. It is a red card.
And now, probably the
Thank
most
you.
difficult thing to shake off. They're down 3 tries,
Time is
but
on.
now down a player for the remainder of the match. One of their seniors, the guy they rely on. And now, Lance,
My time is
they'll have the wind in their
36.45
face
on
in
my
the second half as well. Everything coming up here for Vermont.
And just a moment that might scream heartbreak that we'll be talking about later on. That red card, with a try being scored in the process, while already down a significant amount, while having the win to your advantage, seems
All right,
like
guys,
a
I've
bunch
got
of
just under
things that
3
are going
minutes,
to
okay?
change
Just
for the
under 3
worse in
minutes
the
and a
second half.
Just under 3 minutes and a half.
And they got to find a way to get out of this half without giving up any more points, and maybe as a bonus scoring some of their own.
Luca Race, the senior out of Thorold, Ontario, brings it home for Vermont.
Good.
Another strong run from Dunn. Drags defenders unwillingly up near that 10-meter line. It seems like so long ago, Lance,
got
the
a
first
knock on
10
here,
minutes of
guys.
this
Knock on my
match,
green.
we spent everything inside Vermont's 22. Chicago only came away with 5 points, and now with the one-player
move a little bit over here,
disadvantage,
guys.
they desperately need some offensive action.
They really do. And this actually might be a character trait of Vermont. In Friday's semifinal, they find themselves down points early in the match with no momentum, a handful of mistakes, and not really playing what we learned to be their brand of rugby. And somewhere along the line, they figured it out and straightened out the course and showed up big time to finish that game out. They've already eclipsed their points from Friday, and the offensive showing I've seen for Vermont is some of the best I've seen all year.
Brzezinski calls it out. Fasihi in the back, again driven backwards, but they're still fine there to be able to take it off. Will Johnson takes it into contact. Excuse me, Vijar. Over the 22-meter line come the Maroons. Vijar with it. With a beautiful fake, cuts back inside. 5 meters out, finally brought to deck. The look to spin it, huge hit. Big time counter ruck, disrupts it, causes the turnover back to Vermont.
And I need everyone who's watching this broadcast to listen to the energy and enthusiasm of Vermont from keeping them from going in the score. Amazing individual effort by Will Johnson. Breaking the line, able to show what he can do, taking a bite at the apple multiple times and finally getting through. But Vermont defense bending but not breaking. And here, even with the wind against you, with the player advantage they have, go to the boot, get some territory, and get out of this half without giving up any more points is a huge victory for Vermont leading into the second half.
They've been in this position specifically right here a handful of times at least, and each and every time they're able to push it forward. Matthew Tevnin has been tremendous there with the boot. All the way back they come. There's the return. About 10 seconds left, looking like the final play of the half, and a big-time run for Colin Green, the fullback. Splits the defense, flings it out to the outside, but it can't come to hands. Chicago's going to take possession here. No, it's going to be turned back over as they knocked it on. And a quick conversation here as we're going to take a closer look.
Is this the mark? Okay.
And it might have been knocked forward intentionally, which might lead to another card on a breakaway.
Knock on, is that correct, Chris?
And yeah, it was affected.
He wasn't able to get it backwards towards his own goal line. Does hit that one forwards. Intentional, no real chance to be able to come away with it and make the catch. So I agree with you, Lance. Possible card coming here. The Chicago's starting to fall apart a bit here in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, and just going from...
Say that one more time, it cut out.
Almost a moment of triumph to turn it around, and Vermont might be able to add an additional person advantage.
Can I see the replay just I'd like to see it a little closer, just once or twice. Close angle.
We've got a TMO to review the play.
And I mean, you can tell the angle change from this here. That
So,
touch.
I understand that. Do we feel that there is a line break ready to happen and the pass is going to be accurate enough? Are we set at a yellow card, which is what the recommendation is? Chris, so we have number 8, White, with a deliberate knock-on, and with a line break opportunity, we're at a yellow card. We have number 8, White, with a deliberate knock-on. With a line break opportunity, we are at a yellow card and a penalty awarded to Green. Is that correct? Okay, thank you. Captain, number 8. Stop.
Oh, that's Jack Allison, one of the leaders of this squad.
Stop. So it was a deliberate knock-on, and there was a potential line break, so it is a yellow card.
He's running forward.
I understand your frustration with this, but unfortunately it is a line break opportunity, and he didn't have a realistic chance to actually get the ball.
Okay,
we got to back up 10. We got to back up 10. We got to back up 10. We've got a
See
backup tactic.
Matteo Rampoldi trying to plead his case, but I think the right call was made there, Lance.
Yeah, and I think it was too. And to be honest, Chicago seems to be unraveling, worried more about what the referee call instead of their own play. They need to find a way to zero back in on what got them here to this finals.
Scooped up in the back there by Buteller,
That's fine, guys.
the
He
fullback,
released.
but it's pulled away again. Vermont back in possession. Rode spins it to the outside. Here comes Harry Missing. Haven't called his name in the last 20 minutes, but he is still making his presence felt. A couple of huge runs early on. Now to the outside. Rice
Yeah, right, good.
steps across a couple. Again, on referee's watch time here. Not much left. Should be the final play. Missing again with the line break. We'll swing it. There's that kick through again from Tevnin. It's scooped up, and Chicago will just distribute this one out into touch. And that'll do it for the first half of action. 24-5 the score. All Vermont here in the first half of action. 24 unanswered points.
Captain, guard to the captain. No.
So an excellent first half in the books. Lance, both these teams were strong, but Chicago, as you mentioned, just started to fall apart. We'll send it right down to Tyler Deutsch on the sidelines with the coach.
Here on the Vermont sideline, Coach, what a really impressive first half. You guys have a comfortable lead right now. What are you going to tell them going into the half?
We got to change a couple of things. The wind's going to be a factor. It's going to be to our benefit probably this half. It wasn't the last half. We need to secure some things with running lines, probably get our support runners a little tighter, a little closer for those offensive rucks, and then we'll see if we can't utilize the kick with the wind to our advantage.
Definitely was going to ask about that. The wind is a big factor in this game. How can you see your kicking game changing here in the second?
Well, I'm hoping we can put it in the corners and use it to pin them back with territory for a while. We'll see if we can pull that with some scores, but I'm confident with our wingers and fullback.
Thanks, Coach. We really look forward to it. Best of luck. All right, guys, second half of the Division II National Championship back when we return.
In a sport of power and precision, you need a powerful and precise camera. Analyze your game. Build your team. Grow together.
Ready, up.
Video captures moments. A powerful camera for a powerful sport.
Rugby!
Hello and welcome back to the College Rugby Show. The fall season is upon us. We have a brand new division, now 4 men's divisions, 4 women's divisions. We've had that in 7s. We're going to be coming to you once every other week here in this video podcast form.
I'm excited for a season of telling college rugby's best stories.
We deserve to be here. We're going to keep, representing.
That was, to me, the biggest testament for the future of the game.
Consistency on 3. 1, 2, 3.
In a sport of power and precision, you need a powerful and precise camera. Analyze your game. Build your team. Grow together.
Ready, up.
Video captures moments. A powerful camera for a powerful sport.
Rugby!
Hello and
Alrighty, here on the Chicago sideline, head coach Mikey DeWalt. Coach, obviously not as many tries as you would have liked. What did you tell your guys during the half?
I think we just haven't been sticking to our game plan and what we've spoken about. So, when we do stick to that, we're on the front foot every single time. And I think if we can just keep going on that, we should be getting those tries in on the second half. So, yeah.
You guys have obviously been playing hard, playing aggressive, and discipline has been a little bit of a factor, a red card and a yellow card. What did you tell your guys to adjust the discipline in the second half?
Yeah, it's just like the yellow card, I think, is unlucky. Out of obviously, that's a reaction call. The discipline on the red card, it's fair play. Shouldn't have done that, but I think with 14 men, we can still make it happen.
We look forward to it, Coach. Thank you very much. Best of luck in the second half. All right, let's get the second half of the Division II National Championship underway.
Thank you so much, Tyler. We are just about ready to rock and roll here live from Houston, Texas, SaberCats Stadium, the home of the 2025 NCR's 15s College Rugby Championships. I'm Tim Wilkes, joined up into the booth with Mr. Great American Rugby himself, Lance Kavanaugh. Check him out on all the social media platforms if you haven't already. It was a great first half, Lance, but the Catamounts, too tough really in that last 25 minutes.
Yeah, and with the wind switching and them having the advantage of Mother Nature, this can actually turn out a little bit crazier for Chicago. Unable to finish on the back end of some of their tries with many opportunities, but now being forced to their own end. Let's see how Chicago defends their own territory.
Yeah, with only 13 players, that is the big caveat. Had a red card and then the yellow there for Jack Allison, the big number 8. They'll look for those kicks, but the chase is going to be difficult with all the number advantage here for the Catamounts. They've got possession. Working our team of 3, keeping an eye on the knock-ons. Nothing happening, says the AR. Back to the center. Here's a kick up over the top. Through Tevnin, finds a little bit of space, but it's finally scooped up on the outside by Grusnius. 10 meters, less than 10 meters from their own try line. What do the Maroons have left here in the second half to be able to bust through? Again, lost 3 on the last one. Stranded on the left-hand side. They'll just have to go for the kick. Through Will Johnson. This one hangs up a bit and picked up on the run. The counterattack is here. Around the corner comes Luca Race. Through the center. He's over the line, but he's held up. 2 Chicago players have him. He gets down. Looked like he made contact with it. And the try is given. Vermont, first try of the second half.
The Catamounts.
And that right there is the wind advantage we were talking about. Chicago being backed up on their own end, kicking for territory, but not getting enough meterage and definitely not getting the ball off the park. Immediately became in trouble. Way too much space, way too much speed, way too much race. And before he can even look up, he's standing in the try zone wrestling with some of these Chicago players, some of the Maroons, to get the ball down. And he was able to, after a turn and lean over his shoulder, able to score and race, has lifted his hand to say he wants to be considered an MVP caliber performance in his national championship game. Between him and missing, is so much going on with this Vermont side, and they've shown so much class.
Conversion is good, and the 2 tries from the senior business major, Luca Race, has the Catamounts in secure possession of the lead. And Lance, as we look back into the first half, it was a good 20 minutes of possession for Chicago inside the 22-meter line of Vermont. But now, as the tables have turned, Chicago is just going to have a lot of time, or a lot of trouble, dealing with the counterattacks as they try to pooch it out of their own end.
Yeah, and it seems as though that is going to be the shining point of this entire championship match. The way each team was able to handle the adversity of dealing with the wind and back them on your own try zones. Vermont has shown in space attacking, they are the class of National Collegiate Rugby in their division, and Chicago is going to give them ample opportunities if they find themselves deep in their own end.
Again, this was a team last year fell in the round of 16 against UNC Wilmington. They were able to topple their foe from last year in the previous match, 22-11. And now here in the national championship, they've got all cylinders rolling. This time it's knocked forward, though, so they'll have to play a little bit of defense. We're 3 minutes deep into the second half.
And just when you think Vermont was able to put together a lot of momentum, that ball unable to go to hand. And I mean, on the other side of that offload could have been a lot more space to be taken advantage of, an opportunity. And Chicago still has to figure out a way to resource these scrums, being 2 players down early in the second half.
That was Tiernan Dunn, big number 6. He loves to run at the defense, but is tremendous with the hands and the passing abilities on the offloads. This one not hooked backwards, came right back out, so we'll have it again. But that was really, this team for Vermont, they love to just pound you to death with that forward pack. They weren't able to really crack too much last time on Friday, and really it's been the back line more here. But it's definitely someone to keep an eye on there. Tiernan Dunn, big number 6, the senior running the show from the center.
I need you guys to hold your weight until the ball's in. Okay.
Final instructions from our referee, Mikey Rodzinski, out of the New England Referee Society. Just about ready to get things back underway. Really been Vermont on the front foot in the scrums. They're able to pull this one out the back. There to Fasihi, keeps things moving. Referee okay with it. Chicago needs points desperately. 31 unanswered. They scored that try in about the 8th minute of this match. A lot of havoc being played behind the game line, or in the back there, not rolling away the call. And so the Catamounts will get sent back 10.
Yeah, and even though the score line is what it is, they need not allow this Vermont side to get confidence on defense. They're swarming defensively, and Chicago has to continue to find ways to resource the ball and keep it available for themselves.
Couple of phases deep into this one. They'll spin it back out here the near side. Thought about the kick. Decided to keep ball in hand. Strong tackle there from the MLR draftee, John Warabell. Off to the right-hand side. There's the kick coming in from Roth. Causes a little bit of havoc with it, but it's finally scooped up by Colin Green, the fullback. 5 minutes in, more than happy, but now a big-time rush. Seamus Rode. We've seen him break the gain line with that small 5'10", 200-pound thumping frame. They're able to keep things moving through another phase, now to the back line. Strong tackles coming in from Chicago. Diego Orrego with the sure tackle. Good little switch that time and a big thumping run coming in still from Roman Legier. Near side, Harry missing. Continues to pound forward past the gain line. Vermont's got to be careful coming in a little bit from the side here in some of these rucks, and this one's charged down. Scooped up by Chicago. Looking for some space on the outside. Vajar throws it away. Into contact. Big contact goes Tom Burnett. Got to be careful with that lead elbow up near the face. They're able to retain possession. There's the offload to Seamus. Rhodes with one more. Gets it to Dunn. Excuse me, that's Quinn Ressler, the big number 8. Goes into contact but cannot release quick enough. As Dunn gets dinged for the penalty and they'll get sent back.
Yeah, and a few things happen in this phase of play. Like that pass just a little bit, maybe a drip forward, and he asked for a review or earlier contact, forearm to the face. Looks like TMO has done their due diligence on that forearm to the face. Chicago with the penalty.
Rudzinski with the nice call, and this is a beautiful snag. That was Justin Casper. He boots it forward as well. Contest for it in the try zone, but it's dotted down by Chicago. We'll have a goal line drop.
And if they goal line drop here for distance, then it might be returned for a drop kick. That is possible to happen here.
There's the burst. We've already seen one on the counterattack. Colin Green gets the double, second try of the match. Vermont all in possession here in the second half.
And, I was thinking with the goal line dropout, with how the wind's been affecting the game, it might be something to where you might see a goal, the drop kick back at him to try to go for 3. But no need. Green saw green and turned on the green light. This kick put somewhere outside of around the 30-meter mark, and all they needed to do was just research the ball to the middle of the field. There was space there. Chicago Maroons around to make the tackle, but no one stepping up to the challenge, and green, mean green, is in again, and these backline players for Vermont are showing up.
For sure. 4 tries between Luca Race and Colin Green. The kick is up and through from Matthew Tevnin, the junior. All Vermont here in the second half, and we'll take one final look at another successful counterattack.
Yeah, just too much space, too much go for it. He's moving too fast. And if you look in the background, the Vermont players aren't really celebrating these tries to the same level they were earlier on. You see a relaxed group. Hopefully they aren't coasting and they'll continue to drive away the point, but it seems like this Vermont side has found relaxation and just eager to finish out this game strong.
This time a little bit of a grubber off of the drop kick for the restart. Kind of surprised we saw them looking for distance on that goal line drop. Thought maybe they would just try to pop it up and maybe use that wind to let one of the big forwards. They've got lots of height in that lock group. But in the end, it's another. They try to go with the grubber there off the restart, and it's the Catamounts back in possession. Tiernan Dunn loses it forward. No possession retained there, or advantage gained, and so Chicago will have the put into the scrum as we're 12 minutes into this second half.
And I mean, we're right around the time where that yellow card will probably start finding its way back onto the field, but that player advantage is also coming into effect with how much space Vermont has had to attack. It's just having 2 less defenders to cover some space. I mean, sideline to sideline, that's 15 meters of space moving, so it's just opening up gaps for this Vermont side.
See the put in there for that beautiful Gilbert and Ovo rugby ball. Same one used in the World Cup in 6 Nations. Pick up yours at worldrugbyshop.com. One of the main sponsors and has been for years for NCR Rugby. Vermont scooped this one up but lost it forward. Advantage being played, and we'll come back here to another scrum as some sloppy play here in the second half. But 2 quick tries have the Catamounts in great position in this D2 National Championship. And if you're just joining us, we started this on Friday. 12 teams competing for 4 national crowns. We've already seen 3 dished out. Earlier today, it was Franciscan with the D3 victory. Tennessee and St. Bonaventure, both with championships in their respective divisions. And Vermont showing their championship prowess here on the D2 side. Strong run from Reed Smith. Could not gain any advantage. It was almost ripped away there from Justin Casper again, who's been great, number 12. We'll have another scrum to Chicago.
Yeah, and in the tackle, got his right hand on the ball, unable to re-kick it, but just going into that tackle, causing that slight knock on. Tom Burnett, who's shown himself a few times in this matchup, eager to get the hit, and now we have a midfield scrum. This is a great attacking opportunity for Chicago, and maybe one of the best they're going to get early in this half.
Back to 14 players as that yellow card. Allison is back in the match here. To the near side. There's the pick. Interception for Vermont, and the dish out to Rice. They'll just secure possession inside the 22. I believe that was Tom Burnett with the snag. And now another beautiful offload. Seamus Rhodes hits it at full pace. Tries to keep things moving, dishes it off to Casper. Casper with another hard charging target, brings him inches away from pay dirt. Shoes on the deck. Green jerseys abound off the right-hand side. There's the skip pass. Finds its target. Luca Race Works through. Try number 3, the hat trick for Luca Race.
And to get a hat trick in a national championship game just says so much about the mindset, making the most of all the opportunities. Luca Race has been on a race to a hat trick this entire match. And that interception there, Tim Burnett already showcasing itself earlier in this match, gives it off to Zan Rice. Rice gets tackled, and after a phase or two later, they put the ball in the hands of the man himself, matriculated to the outside, nobody in front, space galore.
Let's see if we can get up high enough, boys, but we'll see.
Happy man there, Joey Bessel, pushing his squad forward. Again, only to the round of 16 last year where they lost to UNC Wilmington, but they avenged that loss on Friday, 22-11. They took down the Seahawks, and they are planting their flag here in the national championship.
I mean, we talk about picking a moment to show up and show your best. Vermont has done that absolute. All the minor mistakes from Chicago given Vermont extra opportunities, and Vermont has made the most of them.
Good job with a shoestring pickup, and they immediately boot it back, and Chicago again has to retreat to scoop this one up. What a huge kick picked up by Buteller. And they're just going to make a couple passes, trying to find some space here with the counterattack. Beautifully done, Nico Roth. Takes it up near the midfield stripe. A good offload, keeps things moving. Great tackle there from Zan Rice on the outside. Low enough, says our referee, and we continue to push. Orego couldn't quite break the gain line. A little slow on that pass coming in there from Will Johnson. He just has to eat that one. They look for more space on the far side. But again, Vermont's always going to have the numbers with the 14 players here for Chicago for the rest of the match after that big-time red card against Will Hendricks. Back in about the 30th minute of action or so. A couple of high tackles for Hendricks. Didn't learn his lesson and got dinged with the red. Been tremendous effort from our referee crew to spot each and every call. This one pushed through off the counter ruck, and the boys in green scoop it up. Harrison Lloyd gets taken down from behind, but the Catamounts continue to charge just outside the 22-meter line. There's the Bleach brothers, Dunn and Ressler. Back and forth, but good defense from Chicago to send them back. Another kick coming in from Tevnin, who's been outstanding. Gets the big high bounce they're looking for, and Luca Race, number 4. What a big time try. Vermont on the board again.
That's at least a hat trick.
That's 4, he says. They're indicating that's at least a hat trick. He said, no, get it right. That's 4. 1 for every letter of the name. And again, all it takes is just effort. They're leaning onto the kicks. The bounce is incredible, and you just got mossed in a national championship game by the 4-try scoring man himself. And just a little bit of extraness there. Just unfortunate, but Vermont, again, showcasing the class that they have, opting to go to the kick in this second half has worked out exceptionally for them. And just how the wind has been blowing, it's just so much can be said on their choosing of tactic and how that IQ has really affected the scoreline even more.
Tevnin strikes that one through again. As you mentioned, though, that's 2 tries in a row off of the kicks. Air from Tevnin finds his target, Rice on the outside.
And the bounce is just a beautiful part. The assertiveness to go up, the strength to land on one leg, keep his feet. And so much can be said about how this team has been coached.
Perfect time to come out. Yeah, whatever. Keep going, let's get Hank out there, baby.
Woo!
Yeah, go Cots! Go Cots!
And the respect from the coach, great shift to his players. Just so much can be said about this Vermont side as they extend their lead in this national championship game.
That was William O'Shea, number 1, who will step off. You see there, 4 tries for Zan Rice. And I swear, Lance, next time we throw it down to the sidelines to Tyler, we're going to see him with a hairstyle like that, busting out the bleach, as the Catamounts have put on a show in this match.
Yeah, nothing short of an exceptional effort from this Vermont side. Able to get down a try early, but not lose his resolve and answer with 42 straight. Or 52 straight, excuse me, able to just add to the scoreboard over and over.
Yeah, you mentioned it there, Lance. The first 5 points of this match put in by Chicago. They probably had 5 opportunities within the 5-meter line. They got close. They had multiple lineouts, but then things started to fall apart. Big steals on the lineouts, 3 in a row for Vermont. And Chicago had their biggest weapon, which was Alzugare, who's out for this match, the big number 2. That driving maul, they just haven't been able to have enough possession to get that in.
Yeah, it was something they leaned on very much so in the semifinal, and they've been unable to get the engine started just to get out of the driveway with it. So much can be said about how they handled it the second half of that semifinal and how it just hasn't carried over into this national championship match.
Boy, Harrison Lloyd just ran straight into Rampoldi, shoved him to deck. Rampoldi grabbing the shoulder. Vermont is just pounding away here on the offensive end. Big time kick in the back, scooped up by Buteller. Keep this one inside. New sub in, Liam Roth, the freshman physics major out of Delaware.
Time's off. Time's off.
Penalty here. Looks like the AR may have been able to spot something from the far side.
I'll come to you. I'll come to you.
Let's listen in.
Yeah, and hopefully.
Okay, Robert. So I'm unsighted. You have foul play. Tell me what you've seen.
Yes, so the ruck is complete, ball is playing away. Number 8, White, grabs number 12, Green, and pulls him to the ground.
Okay.
The ball has moved away.
Okay. So based on what I'm hearing, are we at a penalty reversal? So just a penalty only?
Penalty only in
Okay.
favor of Green. I would also recommend having a word with Green. I've spoken to him twice already this half after we discussed it at halftime. He's clearly not listening, and he did follow on after the incident. So.
Thank you, Robert. All right, guys. Just captains. 12 Green, 8 White. 12 Green, 8 White. Just come. Just come, guys. Just captain and 8. Captain and 8. Yeah. All right, guys. We're having extracurriculars off the ball. We don't need that stuff. So I have you pulling him to the ground. So it's going to be a penalty awarded to Green. That's what my AR is seeing. It's just going to be a penalty only. I need you to behave yourself and have some discipline. Okay? All right, let's knock it off. Let's knock it off. Let's knock it off.
And Lance, as we listen in at halftime to the referees, that was kind of a point of contention. Justin Casper, the big number 12 there at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, playing havoc, playing a little bit maybe past the whistle, but this time that aggression gets sent the other direction, and they are the ones earning themselves the penalty.
Yeah, it's just the last thing you want. There's been so many uncharacteristic mistakes, errors, lapses in judgment. And I don't want to say the moment got too big for players. I think that would be unfair, not knowing them personally. But just unable to really grab a hold of this championship moment. The red card continues to sting as this game goes on because it's eating into the gas tank of these forwards, having to compensate for a loss of a second rower.
And all of the shine, everybody's going to be looking at this 52 points that Vermont has been able to put up. But I think the biggest thing here on the national stage, 11 points they gave up on Friday, 5 here in the national championship, multiple double tackles around that try line. They have really stepped up on the defensive end, and that has gotten them into championship form. On the outside, it's Colin Green again. He's already got a couple. Boy, the freshman in this back line. 6 tries between the two guys there, and we're going to come back. No advantage gain. Had a high tackle here. There's the quick tap. They'll look for the charge. John Warabell brings it home and dots it down. First try of the match here for Warabell, but he is leading his team to a national championship.
Yeah, and you can see the eagerness of when they saw the penalty. He is doing whatever he can to get close, to get around the serve. Where's the mark so I can tap? And he saw the green immediately. He saw the try line and went right forward. And with a big man like that, I mean, we're talking 6'3", 235. That is not an easy size to stop that close to the try line, especially with the forward momentum they have. And they just seem to be quicker on the ball, quicker on the draw, more eager to get to these points, get to these penalties, get to the setup. And it's been showing as this match carries on.
John Warabell, again, the senior, puts the exclamation point on his college career. 2-time All-American, draftee by the Free Jacks. Next time we see him in a jersey, it'll be in the red, white, and blue. Another great kick from Matthew Tevnin. He's really amped things up here in the national championship as well. See Allison there again. Thanks to everybody, all the supporters in the crowd to watch this national championship. Vermont all on top in this one. Matthew Tebnin, the junior, he'll step aside. This one did not go the required 10. They're able to get their hands on it, and we'll bring it back to a scrum center as we approach 16 minutes left here, away from crowning the Catamounts your new national champions.
You know, I've been in a few of these situations myself, national championship games, lopsided score line. Game seems to be in hand with excess of 15, 20 minutes plus, but the energy on the sideline and the team shouldn't change. You want to keep and continue a good showing. This is the mountaintop of your season. This is the biggest point of your season. You want to showcase the entire 80 minutes, and I don't think Vermont is going to slow down at all. I think multiple players want tries in this national championship game.
We already see the effort there from Warabell, who took that quick tap and turned it into 5 points himself. And that's the captain leading from the front. I doubt we see any bit of a slowdown here from the Catamounts. All the way quick hands to Cullen Green. Again, takes 2 defenders to bring him to deck. Great work to pull that one out of there from James McGovern, the freshman. Can't say enough about how he's run the show there. We were playing an offsides penalty, so we'll come all the way back as no advantage was gained.
Yeah, it looks like a tripping on one of the runs also gave a penalty. And I mean, Vermont is bringing agility, speed, cutting. And there was a move in the middle of the field that tripped up a player. Just amazing bit of play. This is it, inside the left step there. And soon as he left step here, the defender leaves that left leg out and trips him cleanly. And that's just dangerous play. Penalty arm up immediately by the referee.
Most importantly there, no card given. But still, with 14 players on the pitch, are the Chicago Maroons. Tremendous season for them out of the Great Midwest Conference. But not today here, says the Catamounts. 15 minutes away from the national championship. There's their captain, Warabell, dishes it off. Wrestler takes it over the 22-meter line, or near it. They'll keep things in tight. Legier continues to work hard there from his flanker spot. And this time, foul play possible as well, but we've got a penalty, so back 10 go to the Catamounts.
Yeah, you can't drive that far past the ruck. And after this tackle here, you can see that ruck, he should have ended up there, but a continued leg drive, 4, 5, 6 meters past the ruck. And because the referee has been trying to get the temperament of this game down, cool some of the heads down in this game to get players just to play the game of rugby, he has to call that to keep tempers quailed. and make sure they stay within the rules, stay within the law book.
So we'll see what this forward pack has left in the tank. Again, lineouts were perfect for Chicago in the previous match, and they're able to get this one in, but boy, has Vermont stepped it up on their own lineouts. Again, already 3 steals in the first half for Chicago. Just unlucky play, lost it forward, and a turnover back to Vermont.
You know, when the opportunity presents them, Vermont makes a mistake. You got to find a way to capitalize it. Maybe not with just possession, but meterage. Maybe that penalty gives you an extra 20, 30 meters down the field. But for Vermont to concede a penalty and still end up in the same spot they were originally, it just gives them a reward for what the ref would consider foul play.
Put in here. They're able to rip it out the back through McGovern. Quick hands, return pass. Comes to fruition. A couple of beautiful moves from the substitution. Keeps things going to the outside. I believe that was Zagorios with the quick feet. Now some space there. Hank Belling, the junior. Number 16 takes it in. Looking for the kick pass over the top, and why not? Falls right into the hands of Rice. 5 meters away now.
Offsides.
The kick distribution has been tremendous. Offsides is going to be the call there as they reached over the line with the ruck. Knocked it out of the hands, and now they'll get sent back. 5 meters away. Let's see what Warabell does with it. There's the tap. Last time he took it through. He does it again. 2 tries for the captain. Continue the push for the Catamounts.
There are 3 things that are certain in this life: death, taxes, and inside the 5 meter on a quick tap, Warabell is going to finish. I mean, they know it's coming. They know where he's running to. He makes a decision immediately after the tap to pin his ears back, and there is nothing that Chicago can do. He has that low body drive and able to just squeak underneath the line, getting 5 points at a time. I mean, you can see the energy of these Vermont players. They're having fun, trickling down the last 10 minutes in a championship season.
Chicago trying to do everything they could to stop the big 6'3" senior out of Exeter, New Hampshire, but they could not get it done. They had arm on either shoulder, trying to pull him down however they could, but the big fella just too much to handle. Number 22, Zagorios, taking the kicks. That one off the mark. 66 unanswered points. As we look back to how they got here, they had 65 against Villanova, 43 up against Cornell earlier in the year. I mean, they have been a tremendous squad, put over 50 throughout. A little bit slower against UNC Wilmington. Again, the foe that kicked them out of the tournament last year, they dumped them in the semifinals 22-11. And here in the national championship, they have had a firm control. Offsides is going to be the call on Chicago.
Yeah, just continuous mistakes are showing up. And against that UNC Wilmington side who took care of business in their 3rd place match, winning by a big margin, it might not be too far to say that that game was the levels of a finals match in the semifinals. Both teams exceptionally strong. Both teams exceptionally ready for the challenge that was ahead of them. And it was a good, well-contested, highly contested match that Vermont not squeaked out in the end, but just in a war of attrition, were able to dig deeper for longer. And in this championship game, you got a Vermont side just showcasing what they really can do with some preparation, some warm-up, already settled into the atmosphere at this Houston SaberCats field. It just shows how strong that side is.
Yeah, it was so tough on Friday to put points up on the board. UNC Wilmington had the first try of the match, just like Chicago did here. But Vermont put up 22 unanswered points before the Seahawks were able to put one more on. Boy, this Vermont squad has looked the part here in the national championship. Good snag out of the air. Mistakes have been minimal here in the second half as well. Finn Peters charges forward, 8 minutes away. Another big-time collision from the captain. Sending players down. We haven't called his name a lot this weekend, but he has really been the leader that they need. And here in the national championship, he cashes in with 2 tries. Kick up over the top, inside the 22-meter line. It's not going to flirt with the touch line. Good job to step back inside there from McGovern at the 10-meter mark. Crash ball. Finn Peters again breaks the line. A couple of strong runs from him as the substitute. Wrestler distributes there from the 8-man spot. There's some space here on the near side. Warabell gets it out to Luca Race. Race fends 2 off, slaps a couple others by, and now continues the pace here. Matthews takes it 10 meters away. Luca Race has been tremendous. He's going to follow the ball and look for another try. Off to the right-hand side they come. Peters with the offload. Space opens up on the outside. And the Catamounts continue to keep that scoreboard ticking. 71 unanswered points.
And so much has to be said. How the ball just flies through the air. This ball, Gilbert and Noble Rugby ball, same one they use in the World Cup, same one they use in 6 Nations, and it's flying around the field in the same way. Ball you can find at World Rugby Shop. Vermont continues to just add to this lead. And look at the offensive structure, able to go left to right, all the way back to the right side. Continue to go there if you don't cover all of that space. And it's 71 points that Vermont has seemed to showcase and add. It just continues to show the class side they are and deserving of a national championship.
Alexander Zagorios, the 6-foot sophomore, puts this one just to the right of that post. No good. And huge advantage here for Vermont. Just want to say thank you to everybody watching this weekend, supporting these incredible athletes here at the 2025 National Championships. Keep in mind, all replays are available at NCR TV. Make your way there to that website and you'll be able to watch all the action this weekend. Keep up with the stories, announcements, and your favorite team. You can visit ncr.rugby or check out the app and all of the major app stores to follow along here in the national championship stage. It's been a great weekend, Lance, crowning our 4th national champion. And what a tremendous stage down here in Houston to do it from.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Sabre Cat field, such prestige, so many class players, some of the best in the world have played on this field, and to be able to capture a national championship here, it's going to be a great memory for these young rugby players as they continue their development in and finishing college rugby, but moving on to the club and elite levels as well.
Also want to say big congratulations to Fairfield as they were able to come home, your 2025 Lone Star Bowl champions with that victory over Texas Tech. And again, if you're just joining us, Tennessee, the D1 AA champs, St. Bonaventure, the D1 champs, and Franciscan earned themselves the hardware earlier today in the D3 championships. Vermont, just a little over 4 minutes away from championship glory. Another strong run. Orego keeps possession. But the biggest thing is that score line. Only 5 points up on the board, and they haven't really even sniffed the goal line in the second half, Lance.
Not even close, and maybe it's the elements. Just playing that tactical kick game, keeping Chicago pent the same way that they pent Vermont early in that first half. And they just can't. This is one of the first times they found themselves on this side of the 50, this side of the 10 meter. And let's see if they can get inside the 22 because they haven't given up the fight.
Yeah, wind at your face, playing with 14 players for 50 minutes in this match. Tired legs, already played a match on Friday. great heart, grit, and determination from this Chicago squad. So long into it, but still the fighting spirit to push forward. Off to the left. Scooped out the back here. Fasihi, the scrum half. Keeps ball in hand. There's Allison. Sheds one tackle. Slams into the final would-be tackler. An advantage is going to be played here. Penalty advantage. Strong run coming in from Will Hendricks. Haven't called his name quite as much. Excuse me, Hendricks the one with that red card early. Still Chicago with it. High tackle advantage being played. They'll spin this one out the back. Chip kick does not go to fruition. Charge down immediately and will come back to the penalty.
And Chicago with a great opportunity here to get the points they so desperately need to showcase. They got to score once in each half. You got to find little consolation points, even if this championship won't go to the space that you want and you won't be the winner. You got to continue to fight and show bright spots for the future of this club. That ball is live after the kick.
Yeah, almost went with the kick, but instead they want to keep it close. Rudzinski gets to the deck to try and get a better view of it, but it is never brought to deck. Not touched down, held up by Vermont, and they earn themselves the goal line drop.
And with the win, they can shoot this for distance and get the space that they've been asking for.
On the front foot, Augustine Buteller takes it over the midfield stripe. Space to the outside, Orrego with the offload.
That's fine, let's play on. Out green. Back a step.
Able to retain possession. Strong work from Fasihi. Statistics major. Some of his first action of the match. Big time tackle. Vermont not letting up here. Good continuity. And another strong run. Riley Bajar, the senior, gets one of his final carries of his collegiate career. Penalty is going to be given here. Offsides was Alexander Zagorios. And the quick tap sends this one out to the left-hand side through Fasihi. There's the captain. Big number 8, Jack Allison, into contact. And they're able to retain possession, but Vermont got a little too handsy with it. Hands in the ruck, they'll get sent back 10.
Yeah, and at this point, it's just a tick, tick, tick of the clock. It looks like we'll be moving right into referee's time here in this championship match. And just a great effort by Vermont. Chicago continuing to fight, but so much can be said about this team from the Northeast.
You see the full team coming together here for Chicago. National championship not going to be theirs today, but the pride of the Maroon squad will step forward as they look to punch this one in, bringing in majority of this forward pack. Again, so good on Friday with the driving mauls, but the throws a little bit awry. Good job from Vermont to contest. We'll have the option here for the Catamounts.
Scrummer line out. All right, scrum right there, guys. Sorry.
And you heard it there, Lance, being called out there from the Vermont squad. Last scrum of your life, playing each and every moment like it is the last.
Before the scrum settles, though, I have to say, there's a few players who raised their hand for MVP. I don't know who your vote is, but the 4-try man, Winger, lifts his hand for me. Do you have a player in mind?
I think Luca Race has been tremendous. Harry Missing has had multiple line-breaking opportunities, but with 4 tries, it's tough to look away from Luca Race. The 5'11 senior out of Thorold, Ontario, has been tremendous in this match. Had a couple of passes or quick kicks that he was able to scoop up and take the distance, but also was turning something into nothing. Great on the defensive end as well. I kind of agree with you there, Lance.
Yeah, I mean, and John Werabell, obviously, is leading from the front as the captain, scoring some incredible tries. as this ball gets took off the park. Congratulations, Vermont.
71-5 the final score, and the Vermont Catamounts, your 2025 D2 national champions.
Thank you,
Let's get our cheers. Here we go. 3 cheers for the star. Head back. Head back. Head back. 3 cheers for Chicago. Head back. Head back. Head back. 3 cheers for UVM. Head back. Head back. Head back.
John Roble, the captain, holds that one up high. His team has done it. Vermont Catamounts, national champions, led by the front foot, John Roble, the newly drafted New England Free Jack standout. Has an incredible performance, and no better feeling, Lance, than to be able to hand the national championship trophy off to your coach.
Yeah, you earned a moment to really look at the entire year you've had. This is what it was all for. This is what it meant. Congratulations to Vermont and this coaching staff and this squad. Well worked win.
Let's go down to Tyler Deutsch one final time. Tyler.
Stand by. I'm here with Luca from Vermont. What an absolutely dominant performance. One of the most absolutely brutal beatings we've seen in a national championship final. How did it feel out there?
It felt great. I mean, it's a lot of preparation that comes into something like this for all the teams. Practice every day, early mornings. It's freezing in Vermont, so it's nice to be here in the warm, and it feels great to be surrounded by my best friends doing it.
And you guys had such an unbelievable season. You topped it off with a national championship. What makes this team special?
Yeah, there's a ton of seniors, so it makes it so special that we've been here for 4 years. We get far, but we don't quite do it. So it feels great to do with all my friends. There's 20 of us. That makes it different for sure. That we're all so old. It's the last time we can do it, you know?
Well, due to your 4-try, absolutely spectacular performance, you have won MVP of the Division II National Championship Final. Congratulations.
Sweet. Thanks a lot, sir.
Congratulations to Vermont. They are the Division II National Champions, and that wraps it up here for the National Championship weekend at Houston, Texas. From everybody at Next Level Rugby, National Collegiate Rugby, and the College Rugby Show, we thank you for tuning in, and we can't wait to see you next year.
What an incredible 2025 D2 National Championship. 4 champions going home with hardware. What a great effort from the Catamounts as they have sealed the deal. A tremendous weekend in Houston. It's time to say goodbye for Tyler Deutsch on the field. Lance Cavanaugh up in the booth with myself. I'm Tim Wilkes. It's been a great weekend. We thank you for joining us and can't wait for more action here on the National Collegiate Rugby stage.